Now that you've worked on learning the mechanics and the musical aspects of I'd Rather Have Jesus, let's dive in a little bit deeper to work out how to prepare the text and the piece itself. So starting off at the bat, it says that the quarter note equals 80, and it's an andante. Since it's a consistently slower tempo, you're going to have to work harder on your breath and make sure that you make smart breathing choices so that you can sing this piece expressively and correctly. So if you look at the beginning, starting on just measure 1, you have a very short introduction, only about 5 beats. In those 5 beats, you need to make sure that your body is calm and grounded, that your feet are equidistant apart with one foot slightly in front of the other, so that your body can better be aligned and take in better breath. Now, at the beginning, it goes, I'd rather have Jesus than silver or gold. Now, if you look at this piece, just like Poor Wayfaring Stranger, there's not a lot of options for breath. You should look at the grammatic text itself, where the punctuation marks land, to help you choose where breathing should be. For me personally, I would choose to breathe after gold. But if you're not able to wait that long, you should look to see what makes grammatical sense. It doesn't really make sense to go, I'd rather have... Doesn't make any sense. So you should instead try to make it all the way to past Jesus. I'd rather have Jesus than silver or gold, if you're going to do 2 measure phrases. Now, continuing on in the piece, you can see that there are several times that the vocal line jumps quite higher than what you've been used to. Each time these jumps happen over an octave, where you see then silver or gold, or then houses or lands, these jumps are needing to be prepared. And how you prepare a jump with your voice is by opening your mouth wider on the lower note so that when you sing a higher note, your voice is prepared. For instance, if I was to not prepare the jump, I'd rather have Jesus than silver or gold, the voice isn't smooth and connected. If I open my mouth more on the bottom note, the notes sound more in the same line. I'd rather have Jesus than silver or gold. Also, you want to make sure that the high notes don't jump out of the line, because it doesn't make any sense in the words themselves. Jesus makes more sense to make a higher point of your phrase than silver or gold. I'd rather have Jesus than silver or gold. It doesn't make sense to instead put the emphasis this way. I'd rather have Jesus than silver or gold. Higher notes don't necessarily mean louder notes. And throughout this piece, this is a consistent theme. So you need to go through and mark these areas where you need to remember to either back off the volume so that you don't make the piece uneven or the text doesn't make any sense anymore. You also need to mark all of your breaths. Another thing to notice is the key change at the bottom of page 144, going from measure 33, 132, 34 to the next page at 145. Typically, key changes in vocal pieces go up, but this key change is a little peculiar because it goes down. So, as opposed to going, I'd rather have Jesus, which is do, mi, 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 so, all of a sudden, instead of singing do, you're singing mi, which is not what your body has already learned for a while. So if you look at the bottom of page 144, I'm going to start on this world. This world affords today, that's the mi of the new key. Mi, 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 so. And then it goes down to do. Do, do, la, so. So it jumps and it goes down in key. So very much listen to that part a lot. Practice that transition a lot, because that is going to be one of the trickier transitions. Also, coming back into the original key is also tricky. You go from an interval of being on do, name, and then all of a sudden you have to jump all the way up a seventh to, then to be. So I would practice the interval, name, then, I would work on that interval a lot so that you feel confident and you're not looking for your note when it's time to perform it. Whenever you're nervous, the things that you haven't practiced the most or you feel the most uncomfortable with will come out. It's our natural body's response. It's habit. Okay, so it's called fight or flight. Whatever you're used to doing the most or whatever you feel the most uncomfortable with, your body will take over and produce a natural response to create whatever it thinks needs to happen. So practice trumps fight or flight. The more that you do, the more that you practice, the better chance you will have at being accurate the day of. Now, if you keep on in the piece, you can see all throughout there are a lot of terrace dynamics where you're going from very, very loud to very, very soft. You need to make sure that you understand that just because a dynamic is present in a piece doesn't mean that you have to sing what your idea of that dynamic is. Your forte might not be another person's forte. You want to sing the healthiest, best supported forte and the healthiest, best supported piano that you can have. If your piano singing is not that quiet, then you need to make your forte singing louder to make sure that the dynamic contrast is great enough to know a difference. Ideally, the most important thing is breath and line and how you're reaching your audience. You don't want to under-support your singing in the piano sections just to make sure that a piano marking is taken. So for instance, if you look at page 144 on Then to Be. Be the king of a vast domain, or beheld its seats dread sway. I'd rather have... See, I dropped, like the music says, from forte to mezzo piano, but I dropped too far to a level of singing that couldn't be heard because I wasn't supporting it properly. So instead, I'll start at or beheld. Or beheld its dread sway. I'd rather have Jesus. Equally quieter, but this time I was supported as opposed to unsupported. And when you're singing in a big space or for a group of people, you want to make sure that they can hear you and that the sound sounds good no matter where it is in the range. For more information on how to prepare a text of your piece or how to prepare the music itself, you can check out the links below to different worksheets that I've provided to help you prepare these texts. I hope you have found this recording helpful and good luck on your solo.